What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Casually Fit Podcast. Thank you for coming by today. Thank you for listening. Today's topic is going to be about commitment. Now, don't run away, all right? I know a lot of people are scared of commitment, but I'm going to get into that in a second. I did want to mention, isn't it weird? It's middle of October. So first of all, this year has come and gone. I mean, it's a very quick year, especially considering, it feels like it has come and gone very fast, and we've been in quarantine for a lot of the time. So it's a very weird year. And even here in San Diego, it's almost Halloween. Typically, beginning of August, even late September, you're like, oh, you see some Halloween decorations, and you're like, oh, it's kind of getting towards Halloween. Last week is 90 degrees, and there's not too many Halloween decorations out there. So, everything's just a little bit weird. We got the election coming up in a couple weeks, and thank the baby Lord Jesus, whatever, that's coming up, and that's going to come up and go. And hopefully, the world or America gets somewhat on the right path of normalcy after that. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, because it's a weird kind of year. And yeah, so other than that, though, with me, everything's going good. But let's get into the topic today. So, again, today's topic is commitment. And so many people, guys are scared to commit to their girls. Girls are scared to commit to their guys. Even some people are even scared to commit to whatever outfit that they chose for that day. They won't even finish the day with the outfit because they're just not committed to wearing it the whole day. And, this goes across many other things, small things, big things. And when it comes to losing weight, that's one of the bigger things that you can commit yourself to. And it's one thing that I think, there's a lot of reasons why people kind of struggle to lose weight, and then actually, struggle to keep the weight off, or just if you're at somewhat of a healthy weight, you're just trying to get fit. This kind of goes across everything. I think there's a problem with two things around commitment. One, people aren't really committing to losing weight, for one. And then two, I believe that those who are committing to lose weight, a vast majority of the people who do try to lose weight and they say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to follow this program. Problem is that they commit themselves to the wrong program. They commit themselves to that 2 a.m. ad that they saw on TV that says that they can lose, a whole bunch of weight just by taking one pill and not doing anything, or they look up on YouTube how to lose weight with no exercise and no dieting, and they commit themselves to whatever that random person says on the internet. All right, so, and I'm a random person on the internet too, but hopefully over time or now you realize that I have your best interests in mind always. But so I think those are two issues that are going on right now, is just this failure to commit. And again, this goes across everything. So many people are scared to commit to a lot of different things. So it's not a surprise that people are a little weary about committing to weight loss, especially when it's a little muddied, right? There's, from my perspective, there's clear-cut ways to lose weight, get fit, get in shape. There's clear-cut ways to do that from my perspective. But I can see from another person's perspective how it can definitely be a little muddied. It can be a little difficult to kind of figure out what to commit to, because you have so many different people out there pushing different programs and pushing different messages. And you have the people who are who don't have your best intentions in mind, who say, yeah, you can lose 30 pounds in a day. They say wild stuff like that. Obviously, that's hyperbolic, but you have those people out there who are pushing out information, and those seem to be the loudest people. Somehow they have the most money for the most ads, and they're able to get their message out there more. So you see that, and then you have the spectrum from there. Then you have people who are just saying, hey, look, if you just, if you're just conscious of what you're eating and you exercise daily and you do that for several years, then you will lose weight and you will get fit. So from looking from a somebody who needs to lose weight's perspective, again, it can be a little muddy, and that's why I completely get why people are hesitant to commit to it. And then furthermore than that, there isn't like there isn't a wide push of information as far as actual studies that have been going on. Actual studies that have been saying these are the actual benefits that you can get from exercising and dieting, and these are the risks that you are under if you don't exercise and you don't diet. There's not really like an awareness kind of campaign that I've seen, right? And if you follow me on Instagram, that's basically what my Instagram account is really kind of is. It's almost like an awareness campaign to that. So I just push out information on there. Right now, the Instagram is at the Gym Rat World, but it is going to change, which it'll change next week, and I'll let you know the new name of everything next week. But so yeah, this commitment thing is, yeah, it's something that I completely get why people are hesitant to commit. But I'm trying to sit here and say, look, we gotta commit. You have to commit to losing weight. If this is what, obviously this is a casually fit podcast, so I'm assuming you're trying to lose weight. But really, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to commit to actually doing it if you want to succeed at it. And that's a huge thing. I mean, if you can look up testimonials, you can find videos online of people who are outspoken of their weight loss journey, and you can hear them speak after they've already gotten rid of like the 50, 60, 80 pounds that they needed to get rid of. You can hear them speak, and they will, tell you it took them, following their diet every single day. It took them exercising every single day, and it took them many months, if not years, to commit to doing that. And a lot of these people are, the most famous cases are like actors, right? Adele, right? She has personal trainers. She can spend so much money on all this stuff, and it still takes her a while and a whole lot of effort to get it done. And she has all this money and resources that she can throw at this problem that she had, and she did, and it worked. And for the regular folks like you and me, where you don't have that much cash or resources or free time to throw at it, you just have to kind of realize it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And but you need to commit to doing it. And that's the thing, is that first off, I want to say, if you commit to the wrong thing, this is where it's an issue. If you commit to the wrong thing, then you're kind of just wasting energy. If you commit yourself to saying, I'm going to lose weight, and then you see that ad for the weight loss pill, or you see the YouTube video that says lose weight fast by not dieting or exercising, and you follow whatever they're doing, if you commit yourself to that, you're really just kind of wasting time. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting time. And by the end of it, a lot of people, it's not correct, but a lot of people will say, you know what, weight loss isn't for me. Weight loss just isn't my thing. And a lot of people will just carry themselves like that, for unfortunately the rest of their lives, or at least a decent amount of time until they realize that that's not the correct way to go. But that can give people a sour taste in their mouth, right? I remember my buddy, so I used to do sales back in the day, and door-to-door sales at that. But don't worry, I wasn't the shady one. But my buddy, he was getting pitched a one of those vacuums, the the Kirby vacuums, right? So he was getting pitched one of the Kirby vacuums at his home, and he texted me. He's like, hey, I got this freaking Kirby vacuum guy at my door trying to sell me a vacuum. And I texted him right away, shut the door, turn him away, tell him to go home, stop talking to him, don't listen to anything he's saying, he's lying to you, stop, don't listen to him, right? So what did my buddy do? Of course, he let him inside his house. He let this dude inside his house, and he let him take his vacuum. He bought the Kirby vacuum and then let him take his vacuum. and I can't remember the exact details of it, but I think so. He bought the vacuum, and either they failed to deliver it at all. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Is he bought the vacuum, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, he still didn't get the new vacuum, right? And they took his old vacuum. They took his so for like 2 or 3 weeks he didn't have a vacuum. But then he called them to try to get his money back and get his vacuum, and basically it took him like a month or so to get his money back and get his vacuum and get this whole thing taken care of. But after that, he has always told me all salespeople are garbage, right? And I would say, I've sold many things in the past. As a previous salesperson, yeah, most salespeople are garbage. I'm just gonna say, most salespeople are garbage. But he was just convinced that like all salespeople, no matter what, if you're behind a product, you're all garbage. And so he got a sour taste in his mouth. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that if you commit yourself to the wrong weight loss journey, the wrong thing to do to lose weight, to get fit, it could possibly leave a sour taste in your mouth. And some people don't have any scope at home. Some people can't wash their mouth out that quick, right? So sometimes that taste stays in there for a while, if not forever, right? And I think that's an issue, right? I think that's a blind spot that people are creating. So first things first, is I would just say is, make sure you're committing to the right thing. And the only advice I can really give you on that is just, if anybody seems like a salesperson, if anybody is really, if they're telling you that you don't have to really put much effort into it and you don't have to do much, I guess, you can have good people who are salespeople, right? There's a small percentage of that. But if you have people who are saying that it's going to be very easy for you, if they're saying that you don't have to put much effort into it, if they're saying all these things and it will be fast for you, unfortunately, that all sounds good, right? And they formulate these things in a way to where it sounds good, to where you say, yeah, I want that. That initial feeling that you get, that initial charge up that you get from hearing that, that should be your indication that this is a wrong thing that you should be looking at. And not really saying you should go towards the boring things, but just, if you're going to choose something, choose a program or choose somebody to listen to, just make sure that, you can trust them, that they're not, ask yourself, is this person trying to fill up their pockets, or is this person trying to help me lose weight? What's really going on? And just kind of ask yourself whenever you're seeing programs come up, or whenever you're seeing people spouting out information about fitness. And I think that's going to help you commit to at least the right program. But then when you do get the right program, you do have to actually commit to it. That's the thing is, there's a lot of reasons why, again, people don't commit to their weight loss program. And one of them is kind of the ego. You'll hear, I like talking about the ego a lot, because to me, it's one of the things, I think I used to have a pretty big ego, and I've just, mostly dissolved that completely down to where I don't really have a ego at all. And now, unfortunately, I see it a lot in different areas. And one area I see it in is if you're not committing to your weight loss journey, you're not committing to the program. I think that's partly because your ego's like, you don't really need to lose weight. You're actually pretty good. Don't worry about all that, because again, when you're doing the whole weight loss thing, trying to lose weight, following a diet, exercising, it's difficult. It's very uncomfortable. It's very revealing to yourself. It's almost like you're almost like naked, kind of, because you're like, especially if you haven't been if you haven't been confronted with yourself in this way in a very long time, it can be very revealing to you, where you're like, oh my God, this whole thing, you go in to lift weights, and guess what? They're heavy, right? Guess what? Your muscles get tired. You get tired. You get out of breath. You don't want to do it. And that's just in the first day. And then, you go 6-7 days into it, then you're really tired. And then your muscles really do hurt. And the weights are much heavier. And then you're coming to the realization, like, Jesus, I'm only on day 8. And I got to do like 300 days of these, and so having that realization can spark up that ego to where it says, nah, nah, you don't have to do that. Now we can just go, we'll follow this program, you don't really need to lose weight, and we'll follow the program anyways, just because blah, 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 and then that's where you kind of half-assly follow the program and you're not really committed to losing weight. And that's for sure part of the issue. The statistic that I'll always say is until I am proven wrong, I mean, not really. It's just a statistic that's online. You can go ahead and look it up. 80% of people do not succeed at losing weight after year 5. Once year 5 comes around, 80% of people fall off, right? That's a huge 80% of people don't do it. and that's on year 5. I think it's like 40% don't make it past the first couple years, and then 80% is 5 years. And to me, I mean, that's just a huge statistic, and there's a lot of debate on why that is, and there's from my perspective, there's a lot of reasons why that is, and just one of the reasons is committing. If you've been listening to me at all, you'll know that I always say, you should be looking long term at all times. You should be looking, if you want to lose weight in 6 months, you need to be like, nah, I got to lose weight in 3 years, right? Or you might want to lose a certain amount of weight in a short amount of time, but you need to dedicate yourself to that goal for, the next 3 years or 5 years or 10 years or forever. I would really say that you need to commit yourself to losing weight or being healthy and fit for the rest of your life. And that is so jarring, I know, for so many people who don't exercise at all and they don't watch their diet at all right now. It's very jarring to hear that, which is why a lot of people go the other way. They go, oh, well, you don't have to really do too much. You don't really have to do all this stuff. You can just take this pill. You can just kind of show up. And so that's where we get this problem, right? The people who are not really trying to help you lose weight, but the people who are trying to make money from you losing weight will be like, well, if we say the jarring thing, people won't listen and they won't do it. So we're going to say the very easy thing, and, if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't care. They just care about making money. For me, I would just say, that is just what it has to be. You have to commit yourself to this whole thing full-heartedly for a very long time, because our bodies will adapt, but it does take a while for our bodies to adapt, especially if you have gone, a decade or more of not exercising and not watching your diet. Again, your body will adapt. Once you change, it will slowly start to adapt to this new way of life. But again, it can take a while, and that's why I think committing for the long term is where people fall short of, and where you need to actually commit yourself is to that long term. Again, think of the people who, or just go out and try to find people who have lost a bunch of weight, and listen to them, and you will only hear people who talk about being committed. You're not going to hear somebody say, yeah, I lost 50 pounds. Yeah, I kind of showed up, I kind of watched my diet for, a couple months, and then all of a sudden, boom, I lost 50 pounds. You don't hear them say that. You hear them talk about how regimented their day was, and how much effort it took, because that's just the requirement for everybody. Anybody who has to get themselves in shape and lose a certain amount of weight, you have to commit yourself to doing that. And again, I just don't think people are doing it. So first off, and there was a, never mind. So yeah, first off, don't commit yourself to the wrong thing. And second thing, just actually commit. Okay, feel that uncomfortable feeling and actually commit yourself to whatever it is you're doing, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Commit yourself to doing it, because it's just the way to do it. I'm sure if you have ever been involved in any business meetings whatsoever, you have heard the old tale of Cortez going against the Aztec Empire, and how him and his men were pulled up on the shore of the Aztec, I think it's Aztec Empire, and they're like, we're gonna go, destroy these people. And what Cortez did is he took all the boats from all of his men and he lit them on fire. And he said, now there's no way we can lose. Now we have to win. Now we are fully committed to winning, to succeeding. So let's charge forward. And, that's Cortez. Clearly, he's insane, right? That's a crazy person. I mean, because think of it. I mean, there's another factor of an entire population that they're going against. There's all these other factors at play. Who knows if people might know. I don't know if he knew exactly what they had. But imagine, and for him to be like, yeah, there's no way we can lose. We got to commit. So I'm going to burn this all down. So we have to move forward. That's insane. Imagine if Papua New Guinea was like, you know what, we're going to invade America. And they brought in 50 boats or however much they have. And they show up to the shores. They show up over here in PB. and they get the men together and they're like, all right, we're going to take over this land. And we're going to light these boats on fire. And because once we do this, we commit that we're going to win. It's obviously a ridiculous thing to say. By the time they say light these boats on fire, America would just probably can't say that. Sorry, I was going to say, never mind. But, America would handle that issue. And so that's ridiculous. So the good news is that you don't have to do that. You can just commit. You don't have these other entities. You don't have these other people against you. But you can, with weight loss, it's just you. You can figuratively burn your boats and move forward. You can say to yourself, all right, the day before today, I was not worried about losing weight, wasn't worried about my diet. And you can separate that from today. And today is a day where I will commit myself to losing weight. I will commit myself to consciously eating and exercising regularly for the rest of your life, or 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, right? And you can figuratively burn that old memory of yourself from the day before, and you can move forward with this. Obviously, it doesn't really go that simply, but you can try, all right? And if you keep on trying, and if you keep on pushing away that old memory of you being a person who doesn't care about this stuff and it's not very committed, and if you can commit yourself to this path of doing this, then I think that's going to help you. So you can burn the boats, I guess. That's still it's a ridiculous thing. But that's the message for today's podcast. I think I'm running out of energy, running out of brain juice. But that's the thing, is that today, again, you need to ask yourself, if you're committed to losing weight, if you're committed to dieting, you need to regularly check up on yourself, right? You need to regularly ask yourself, okay, am I still on the right path? If you're exercising and you go in there, you start exercising, you start doing a bunch of things, and then a lot of people tend to go towards the easier exercises over time, which is whatever. But, after a month or so, you need to ask yourself, okay, I'm doing these easy exercises and I'm not really pushing myself that much. Am I committed to losing weight right now? The answer for that would be not really. yeah, you're showing up to the gym, you're doing some exercises, but you're not committed because you're not completely pushing yourself as far as you could be going. So the commitment runs through. If you keep on asking yourself if you're committed, it will help push you along the path, and it will help you find blind spots that you have and get you on the right path. But yeah, sure. That's it for today. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want a free workout program or a couple free programs, go to thegymratworld.com. And again, that name is going to be changing next week. So I don't even know, I got to make sure I'm going to do it next week. So I'm not going to give out the name yet. But yeah, so go to gymratworld.com right now and you can get a free program. It'll help you out if you're just starting off. If you haven't been working out in a while and you're trying to slowly work into it, it takes you from body weight exercises to machines to stationary bikes. It just gradually builds you up in the gym. And there's also one for the home workouts as well, but it's a gradual workup for you. It's about a 6-month program, and it's free. So go ahead, check it out if you want. Other than that, I will see all of you. You will hear me next week. Thank you for stopping by, and have a good one.